we have a very exciting guest speaker tonight, all the way from Namibia, from Windhoek, Namibia. This lady, I'm in absolute awe of her. I think she's absolutely incredible. And she is going to share with us on a topic called taking ownership of your business. And that is something that many people haven't ever quite understood. So I'm really looking forward to what this special lady is going to share with us tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Nelly Dumeni, and she is the world team member on her way to president's team, all the way from Namibia. Come in, Nelly.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Jen. Happy New Year, everybody. What a privilege and honor to just be with you this evening. I hope you can hear me and see me well. Yeah, I'm just so delighted to be with you this evening and to participate in your team. I'm proud of you. You are a winning team and success is on your way. Success is your portion. And I was just privileged to hear all those testimonies and to listen to all those powerful sessions. I am encouraged and I'm just reminded as to how Neo Life is changing lives and making a positive difference in our lives. So as you have heard, my name is Nelly Dumeni, all the way from Windhoek, Namibia. I am a medical technologist by profession, and I am a mother of 2 young adults. They are already finished with school. They are working. They're actually big people. But when I started, they were very young. Actually, one of them was not even born. He was born the year I started the business, just about 30 years ago. And what made me start this business, I wanted to get an equivalent of 100 Rand, if I can put it in today's term. Before that, that time it was 10 Rand. I just wanted to have 10 Rand every time I pay something and there's 10 Rand left in my pocket. It's just like today, you can at least put 100 Rand petrol in your cup. You don't go very far, but if you are not going too far, maybe you can have it for a day. And I'm the firstborn of 8 children, and I lost my dad my first year at university. And that propelled me to want to do something. Because when I started working, I was so unpleasantly surprised to come home, get a job, and get a salary that was not matching my efforts of what I put into study. As a result, I remember going to my niece and all I prayed for is an opportunity. I said, God, please come next year or the following year, that year. All I want from you is one thing. Please give me a business opportunity. If you give it to me, I'll prove it to you that I can do it. And like they say, when you knock, the door always gets opened. And that's how God opened the New Life opportunity to me. I grabbed it with both hands. And I believe because my dream was so big and I really had no other person that I could rely on, I took it with both hands and worked so hard that in 2 years, I was earning 2 times and sometimes even 3 times my salary. And that is how I decided to fire my boss and become my own boss within the New Life opportunity. And this topic of ownership is very close to my heart because I strongly believe that if I did not have that ownership spirit, I would not have been successful or be where I am. Of course, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I would have just played with this opportunity. Because I wanted to succeed so much, the first thing that I had is about attending meetings. And that time, my firstborn was still young. I was still breastfeeding. And, working at the hospital, at the laboratory, you sometimes work shifts. So I'll come from work and quickly breastfeed and run for training. And I just realized that unless I attend training nonstop, continuously, I will not have the information that I need to succeed. So I believe God helped me to really take ownership in that way. And one of the things I remember, training was far from where we were. It was in another suburb, but I would just go. I remember one time I asked my late husband, I said, you know what, please, Emmanuel, just stop me from going because I can't break my own promise. And he just said, Nelly, just go. Oh, was I not happy that I went? By the time I came back, I was telling him, this is what we are going to do. These are the plans that I have. And then poor guy was like, no, Nelly, please allow me to sleep. Remember, I didn't even want to go in the first place, but now you are not even giving me time to sleep. I want to sleep. So that to me became a lifeline to my business, getting knowledge. And in the first place, I was shocked that people were so willing to give you information. Because when you talk about businesses, normally people will not be willing to share their secret to success with you. But in this business, I found something different. People are open. It's an open secret that anybody who wants can just get it, put it into practice, and succeed. And another thing that I decided at the very, very beginning is to say yes to everything that I was asked to do. I just somehow, in my small business knowledge or mind, I just thought the way to grow is to do whatever they ask you to do. I remember they used to give us the sessions on a Monday. They would say, talk about wash and wax, for example. In my heart, I would be shivering to say, I have never used wash and wax. How can I talk about it? But then I will make sure that during the week, I will buy that wash and wax, use it so that by Monday, I can come and talk about it. And that's how it went. Anything that they asked me, whether I knew or not, I would just say, yes, no problem. Those were my two words. Yes, no problem. And unbeknown to me, it was grooming me to become a leader and to take ownership of my team. And the more I gave, the more I spoke to myself, and the more ideas came to me. One of the ideas was making my own meeting, because I realized going to this place, which is far, for training, I can go maybe with 2 or 3 people that can join me from my team. But if I start doing my own training at home, I will have more people. So I'll have 2 or 3 people on a Monday. Then I started Saturday meetings at my house. And I was surprised. 10 people will show up, sometimes 12, sometimes 15, sometimes even 7. It was still better than having 3 people at that somebody else's training. And of course, I did not know much about the business. So what I used to do is whatever we were trained on Monday, that's what I trained my people on a Saturday. And that is how the business just started picking up. And eventually, I started also attending the local meetings, the bigger meetings when we have New Life coming or Eagle Team Charlie coming. And I remember after I became a director, I was struggling to qualify. And then one time, I told my upline, just wait. When I start qualifying, I will not stop. So I started working on my legs. This leg is only doing 100. If I can work with them to do 150 or 250, and they will be established. They can get somewhere, and I will also get somewhere. So I started doing that. Every month I would draw my structure and just look at who is doing what and a little bit of improvement on everybody. And it took me some time, but there came a time when I started qualifying again, and my bonus doubled from one month to another. And I remember Charlie coming to Namibia, that specific ADT, and they called my name and I couldn't get up to go because I was just so surprised. How can you double your income like that? It also happened to be my birthday month of October that month. So at the job, I was definitely going to get double my salary, but then I didn't know that I could get double my bonus in New Life. And I promised people when I was eventually dragged to go to the front, they said, what are you going to do with this money? I don't know what came over me as I found myself saying, I'm going to go to Bloemfontein. And I started going to Bloem, went with my husband. When we came back, he forced me to leave my job. But what I want to bring out is that what I saw in Bloem made me to take ownership, because I said, number one, if people can be in Bloom and they are sitting on tables with sweets and water, and we are sitting in the crowd, writing on our laps, being uncomfortable, I told myself, if somebody can sit on the front, at the back seat on those chairs, having nice things, I will also do it. And I said, I'm not coming back to Bloom without becoming a World Team member. And mind you, we used to have quarterly weekend functions in Bloom, every quarter, 4 times per year. The next quarter, I was a World Team member, and I was in Bloom. And another thing that I said to myself, when I saw what was happening to people, I decided that I was not going to miss Bloom. I was not going to miss Bloom. It was not a matter of, do I have money or not? However the money comes, let's work that out. But the commitment was, no matter the matter, I was not going to miss Bloom. And doing that has helped me to get to know a lot of things and to get to grow in the business. To the point that I eventually decided, if other leaders can come from Namibia with their buses, I'll also organize my own bus. Was it easy? It was not easy. I can tell you stories upon stories of what you went through, just organizing buses, whether it's borders, whether it's people standing us up on the day that we are leaving, so many things. But without realizing, my leadership was being groomed. And I found myself having people, even some of my leaders, joining me in my bus because I was just so determined. So the stories are many, and I know that Mark still have to come on, but all I wanted to share with you is just that, good people, if it is to be, it's up to you. For me, the biggest thing that helped me is to realize that my upline will not build this business for me, is when I realized that my upline does not get any money that is taken from my bonus. There was a time when I took my bonus and I scrutinized it, and I realized there was nothing that Neolife took from my bonus. So whatever my upline was getting is what she qualified for, is what she worked for. So then I decided, you know what? If she gets what she qualifies for, I get what I qualified for, then I need to take ownership of my own business. To the point that I found sometimes that my upline will ask me questions about the business, because every time you'll find me reading a book. Reading books was one thing that I never liked, but I just knew that for my business to grow, I needed to start doing that. So I started putting a book in my handbag all the time. It became so bad that even up to today, I do it. I can never go to my toilet without reading a page. In my bathroom, there is a book, and I will tell you how many books I have finished in the bathroom. I have books like for Les Brown, and Les Brown, you just need 1 page to be motivated and to get ideas as to how to run your business. And things like that. I'll go in my car, I'll be listening to CDs and tapes those days, and DVDs now, MP3s. And that has helped me to take ownership. Because once you realize that if it is to be, it's up to me, and you realize that there are people in your family, I think about my grandchildren who are not yet there, but one day I would like for my grandchildren to come to me and say, Grandma, we are so proud of you for working so hard, for taking ownership, and not for being lazy. That today we have left the poverty line. We are in the wealth blanket now. We don't know what it is to suffer or to beg or anything like that. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm also thinking about the people that are outside there that are depending on me becoming faithful. I don't know whether we realize it or not, but how God created us, there are people that are connected to us, that our success will help them to become successful, but our failure will make them also failures. I think of such people who are nothing in the world today, in society today, who can become somebody just because we have decided to look at the man in the mirror and start working on that person. Mark says that I must continue. Wow. And I know I have another meeting at 8 o'clock with my team, but let me tell you this one quick thing. On Saturday, we had a leadership meeting with my group, with some of my leaders. I think we're about 13 people at that leadership. And we got somebody who's a professional coach to come and help us, because we realized that many times we have so many things that we know about the business, but we still struggle. Why do we struggle? And this coach made us do one thing that really just opened my eyes so big. She gave us, divided us into groups and gave us 5 pieces of puzzle that we needed to put together. And she said, just do something, put something together. And of course we struggled because we didn't know what we were supposed to make or anything that we could make. And then when she realized that we were struggling, she said, guys, let me give you a clue. The picture that you are supposed to make from those 5 puzzles is a cross. And with that, we started working. But the closest we could come to a cross was to make a T instead of a cross. And then she gave us another tip to say the big puzzle is not supposed to be horizontal, neither is it supposed to be vertical. With that, we now started working better because 3 of the pieces were exactly the same. 2, one was bigger, the other one was big. But with that information, we surprised ourselves to come to make a cross. And that she referred to our business, that we have all scattered information. We know a lot of things about the business. But if we don't have a dream of what it is that you want, you'll not even take up ownership because you don't know why you are here, what you are here for. And even if you know your dream that you are supposed to make a cross, unless you attend meetings, you get tips from people who are successful in the business, you'll still struggle to put that thing together. You'll make something, but instead of a real thing, it will be something which is far from the real thing. But the moment you get tips, you get to attend meetings, you get to take ownership, you get to dream and come up with ideas and strategize and ask questions and fall and get up and move on again. Unless you do that, you'll not come up with the right picture. But having all that information and the right information and the dreams and the taking ownership, you can come up with the dream that you want to achieve. And a cross resembles so many things. It resembles salvation. It resembles life. It resembles everything. And God says that my yoke is easy, my burden is light. He will help you. He says, carry your cross and follow me. So whatever it is that is a burden in your life, you can carry it, and with God's help, you can achieve your dream. But one of the puzzle is taking ownership and not waiting for your upline. I love you guys. Thank you very much, Mark, my brother from that other mother, and Jen, and everybody on the call. I appreciate you. Thank you for being my family in your life, and especially in your team. God bless you.